Hello and welcome to everyone who clicked on this video. Good morning or good evening, depending on when you're seeing this video. Now, as you can see from the title, this is a basic anime discussion, which I never really thought I would do this type of video, but it's not something I've done before, and I figured I might as well do it, simply since I watched a recent anime, which I found interesting and thought that you and many others might enjoy depending on your particular taste. And that one being Bloodivore. If you don't know Bloodivore and really want to watch it, you can go find it for yourself after seeing this video, or you can stay here and allow me to describe it to you and continue on. Now, I'm not going to show any video footage or any other things I've said because of copyrighted material. Yeah. So, enjoy. You can put this in the background and just listen to my voice. My smexy voice. Oh yeah. Now, please also be warned, there probably will be spoilers. Hey. Now, Bloodivore is a action slash supernatural anime about vampires. Who would have tongue with the name Bloodivore? Oh, anyone really? Now, this series to me is, when it comes down to it, most people dislike it. And it's understandable to see why, which we'll get into the reasons why. But if any of you have watched Batum or Dead Man Wonderland and you actually like those two, this will be right your alley, because I like both of those and this caught my eye the same as they did. Now, the actual story behind this is 60 years ago, there was an incident where a mass insomnia was sweeping the nation of Japan. And if you do not know what insomnia is, it's the inability to sleep, which, as we all know, we need to sleep because without it, our bodies became worthless. Now, with all these people not being able to sleep, it made some people commit suicide or basically break down in a sense, mentally and physically. Others became more violent and basically riots and a lot of other things broke out. Now, thankfully, a pharmaceutical company was able to create a new drug that was able to help cure the insomnia that everyone was experiencing. But the only problem was that 2 years later, after taking the dose of drugs repetitively, people began having symptoms which turned them into vampires, which people later renamed them Bloodivore, as the current title entails. Now, once everyone started turning, as you can imagine, a lot of people got scared and didn't understand, and basically looked down upon these people, and basically a war ensued between Bloodivores, who thought themselves superior to humans, and the humans themselves. In the end, the humans won with more people, as it were. And after all that said and done, they stripped a basic, you could say almost like a monitoring device to the neck of every Bloodivore, which would entail the BST, which is basically like the Japan Special Defense Force, but they're dedicated to the protection from Bloodivores and eradication of certain Bloodivores that have gone rogue. Now, if a Bloodivore attacks a human, the bracelet will bright up and will alert the BST to where that person is. And that is basically how they've contained most of the rogue Bloodivores at this time. Now, with the story, we start off with the 4 characters, one being the main character, which is Milu, with him and his friends robbing a bank. Now, I don't want to go into the sake of the story of what I know later on that comes, but let's just say they didn't go there for money. And amidst robbing the bank, a certain person comes out of the bathroom, and one of them accidentally sets off the monitoring device, which allows the BST to know that they're currently doing something they shouldn't be doing and where the location is. Now, the other two want to leave the one friend whose monitor has gone off, but Milu doesn't, and decides to take the getaway car with that person as an attempt to get away from the BST. Now, as you can guess, this doesn't go well with him being captured by the BST along with everyone else. And after that, they are put on death row because they didn't like Bloodivores. What can more I say? People literally look down on Bloodivores in a certain way of they don't see them as human because they're technically not human in all terms, but they're more advanced than human. They look down on them as nothing and basically discriminate against them in every single way you possibly could. Like, they abuse them physically, mentally. Like, it is that bad of where you would see it and you could just tell, like, people do not like this, and it's probably wrong with what they're doing. Now, on the way to meet their execution, Milu and his friends are somewhat fakely executed by the BST and transported to an undisclosed location with a number of other prisoners and put into an island where they're forced to survive against hospital terrain and the creatures that live there. Now, I know that this kind of like, when I first saw it and I read the description for this anime, I literally was intrigued because it honestly brought me to it and I honestly thought it was good. Now, once you start watching it, you'll notice mid to like halfway, this is also a binge series that you probably would watch if anyone's binged anime and knows that feeling. This is one of them. But it really wasn't intriguing and had so much potential. It just was dashed midway and felt more rushed than anything. It had potential. It honestly had potential to be something more than it was. But the overall problem was there was literal plot holes and a lot of the story didn't tie in or made sense, or they didn't explain it in a good enough fashion where everyone would understand and get everything that's going on at the same time. They failed to do that. The story, like I said, had a pretty good start and just aggressively got worse. The animations were also another concern with a lot of people, and they just felt lazily drawn. What more is there to say to that? Now, I would rate this anime, to be honest, like a 4, a 4.5 at best, because it's not technically the worst anime out there. There's probably 100% worse animes than this, but it's not even close to being somewhat best. It literally had potential but dashed it. And there's also a manga if you want to read it. It is called, the original name was called Prisoners Trapped in Another Dimension. Now, I read the manga. It changes a bit from the anime and the manga, but like every single series, the manga and the anime don't really see eye to eye on some parts, but they do change a few things. Now, do I recommend that you watch this anime? I would say if you enjoyed Batum and Deadman Wonderland as much as I did, sure, it's up for you, but you'll kind of notice halfway through, like I said, that it really is not what you would think it would be. And there is a second season coming, so that's the rumor. We can pray that this coming October, that the second season, when it drops, actually explains / fix everything that was lacking in the first one. Now, I'm not much of a critic myself. This is literally and I'm pretty sure to get a lot of criticism for my views on this anime, which I'm more than likely accepting because I actually would like to discuss this with a lot of you. Because to me, I really did like this anime. It had me until like halfway. I still watched it because halfway through, you might as well continue. It goes on for 12 episodes, so it's not that long, but it's a normal sized anime. I just really hope the second season fixes a lot of the things, because we finally got to meet a certain character that was from Milu's past that disappeared and he never saw until today. And they're also following in a thing with like time and space, as in the title for the manga. Time Space Prisoner. Now, you can find this anime anywhere basically, or manga if you're really cheeky enough to read it, but for the manga I read, it wasn't really So I don't really think they got the manga close to the anime, but that might just be where I saw and read. So don't take my word for that part of it. But I would recommend this to you as a bidden series or something you really like. You're basically taking a break from the hardcore shows to see something on the side, because this is probably an underground anime and a side anime that many people probably have not seen or ever heard about. It was only produced in, I think, like either 2017 of this year or 2016, so it literally hasn't been long since it's been out. But yeah, I know this is a very poorly made video since it is my first video. Bear in mind, people, I know how shit the video is. I'm the one recording it and has to watch it after it's being recorded. Now, I do want to see your thoughts on it if you've watched it. Just like Batum and Deadman Wonderland, though, its ending is a cliffhanger. And, no one likes cliffhangers. Especially on the ending, which may or may not get a season 2. No. This is also a Chinese anime that was adapted. I should have said that since the start. No. So it's not like it's a Japan thing. A lot of the key concepts come from China, so it's basically a difference. But I've honestly liked Chinese anime, and a few things I've really enjoyed, actually, more so than I think I would. It all just comes down to your experience of whether or not you give something the chance to watch or read, and it all comes down to you. So you can take my word any way you want to, so I hope you check it out for yourself and decide whether or not you like it. But anyways, I hope you all keep safe and keep enjoying the manga and anime industry. So, until next time, lads. Goodbye.